I'm Pamela Portnoy.
I'm Alexa Marie Anderson.
And no one's okay. Here we are.
We're here.
We really are here this time, right?
We're here. I swear I'm here.
Movie night.
Movie night.
Movie night.
We watched the fabulous Peanut Butter Falcon.
Alexa's choice.
Yes. And it came out in 2019, and according to IMDb...
Do you have the synopsis ready this time?
I'm ready.
Why are you bringing that up?
Why are you bringing that up, Pam? It is about a boy named Zack who runs away from his care home to make his dream of becoming a wrestler come true. The leads are...
Yes.
Zack
Give it to me.
I'm ready. Zack Gottsagen plays Zack. Dakota Johnson plays Eleanor. Shia LaBeouf plays Tyler. Thomas Haden Church plays Saltwater Redneck. And John Hawkes plays Duncan.
I love this cast so much.
Boom.
You did it!
I made it somehow. Some way.
It was touch and go there for a minute, but we made it.
It really was touch and go.
Thank you for recommending this movie. I am really happy we saw this.
Yeah, I really think it's a beautiful film.
It really is. I think this is my favorite one that you've recommended so far.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Yay. I like that. I can't take all of the credit because Shan and I were having a movie night.
Oh, you guys were having a movie
a movie night, and actually, my sister originally recommended it to me, and then I forgot about it. And then we were scrolling through, and Shane was like, wait a second. Didn't someone tell us to watch this? And I was like, yeah, we should watch this. And so we did.
Yeah.
That was a great story. I should tell it again.
Tell it again. Whose idea was this?
Whose idea was it again? Anyways, yeah, it's a pretty beautiful film, I think. What
were your first impressions of it? I thought it was incredibly moving.
Yeah.
And I thought every performance was very real.
Very real, very raw. I thought it was very moving, very heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
It really made me feel good. And I feel like I've been watching a lot of like serious, very like deep, dark things recently.
Yeah.
And this was kind of a interesting breath of fresh air from that. Like, it wasn't obviously sunshine and rainbows the whole time, like there is like, a lot of action in the film and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It was one of those films that I watched and I was like, whoa, that was like really, really good. Like, that was a good film. Like, I really felt I felt like so many different emotions throughout the whole thing.
I thought it was really great to see a film that was not so much plot driven as much as it was driven by the relationships between the characters and how they're changed because they come into each other's lives. And I don't know, because you're right. These days, like, there are so many dark pieces, and I feel like, and don't get me wrong, I love so much of what's being made right now, television and film-wise. But sometimes it feels like some pieces are trying to outdo others.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? They're like, we're going to shock you. We're going to like create this crazy story and you're never going to guess what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
This was kind of a more relaxed adventure, if that makes any sense.
And it was really about the
more easygoing. Yeah.
It was really about the relationships between the characters. I mean, the relationship between Zack and Tyler throughout the film is honestly, like, their evolution is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the, like, boyhood of it, too.
Yeah.
Like, the silliness of a lot of the part. There were so many moments where I laughed out loud.
Oh, totally. It was very funny and lighthearted and totally. Mm-hmm. And everyone was funny and brilliant in it, but they weren't trying too hard. It was interesting because I was listening to an interview that Shia LaBeouf gave with Dakota Johnson and with Zack Gottsagen, they were talking about how Zack is kind of like a walking lie detector because when you're Zack, I don't know if you guys all know the story about the actor behind Peanut Butter Falcon. He is the hero of the story, the lead. He is actually an actor that has Down syndrome, and Shia was talking about how being around him kind of added to his need to be more vulnerable and transparent and ready to just improvise, because Zack would be affected if he wasn't being real with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I love that. I think that's such a cool experience to have on set and to work. I don't know, like, you could even tell that, I think, in scenes too. Like, their relationship was very like raw and real, I think probably even beyond the screen, I bet.
Totally.
So,
I heard that they were hanging out and kind of prepping together for about a month before they started shooting. And so, like, in the morning he'd go, he said he called it crabbing, but like he's a crab fisherman I guess they call it crabbing, right?
crabbing, I guess. I know nothing about that.
So he said he would like go learn how all that was done. He'd be on the boat most of the day, and then at night he would hang out with Zack and Dakota and kind of bond and just spend time together for about a month before they started shooting, which is such a cool way to dive in. And I know that Shia is known for like really kind of diving in that way, like being method, doing everything he can to bring the best performance he absolutely can.
Yeah, I think I mean, obviously I know it's not always, you're not always capable of doing that, but I think definitely, building relationships with your co-stars is really important.
Yeah. And I also think it's really cool because I don't know what your experiences in acting class have been, but a lot of the time we talk about how, yes, we're in class because we're learning a technique to prepare something to bring to set or bring to the stage. But you really have to let go of your plan and just listen and observe, like listen to and observe your scene partner. Because if they're giving you something that doesn't match your plan and you react using your plan,
it's not going to be real.
It's not authentic. It's just like, oh, like you guys aren't having a real conversation. Did you just like pick up on that thing that the person you're talking to did? Because it doesn't seem like it. You're just like hanging on to this thing. So he talked about that a lot in his interviews. And so did Dakota. They were talking about how, they had, they did their work on the characters, but then they had to let it go because there was so much improvisation when it came to being on set, which I thought was so cool.
Yeah, I think the funny thing about acting is a lot of times, like, I think we get caught up in our own work. And then, like you said, like you come in with your own plan, and then you're like, and then you become so attached to it, and it becomes like so hard. That's where like turmoil happens, I think, sometimes with like scene partners, because like you're not willing to like give. And I think like giving in a scene is so much more important. It's like all about what you're giving that other person to use and how they're using it and then giving it back to you. It's really just reacting and listening is pretty much. And I think that's crazy to know, like, there was so much improv in that film, but also makes sense because the dialogue seemed so free and natural. So yeah, that's really awesome.
What else did you like about it?
I really liked Dakota Johnson's performance in this because I think it's just interesting to see her in this type of role. I think most people know her
from 50 Shades.
From 50 Shades. So, and obviously I've seen her in other things, but that's something that's like very prominent in my mind. So it was really cool to see her in a role like this. She was very real and authentic and down to earth. Yeah, she was very lovely to watch.
All of them had so much chemistry. The three of them, like you could tell like how much they hung out.
They all seemed like buds.
Like they really like each other.
Yeah. They all,
and that's amazing.
Totally. And I think, and one of my favorite parts, I don't know about you, is when Saltwater Redneck actually decides to show up.
Totally.
That is like victory.
Oh, that's a great moment. And I was very
Yeah.
like pleasantly surprised because I didn't realize like it would be that kind of thing where something good happens. You know, I think maybe this movie really spoke to my my cynical side, because that happy thing happened and I was like, oh, the happy thing happened. So that's great.
Yeah, I was, and I think I was a little, maybe I was the opposite of you, because I was like, I can't believe he's not going to do it. Like when they first go to the house and he's like, sorry, like he doesn't live here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was like, he's not going to do this. He's really not. He's just going to like
be like, sorry,
shut
I know
the
you
door.
came all this way, but
yeah, like I was like, he's not even going to try. Like, so I don't know. I was really happy when he showed up, and it was very cool.
I really enjoyed when Zack came up with his name for his wrestling name, when he came up with Peanut Butter Falcon. I thought it was so moving, and I thought the bond that they created between their two characters was honestly like undeniable and just so beautiful to watch. I think that also the tension between Dakota Johnson's character and Shia LaBeouf's character was really well handled. It was really real and totally different than what I've been watching lately. So I really enjoyed it.
It was really refreshing. And I love how imaginative a lot of their scenes were between Zack and Tyler, just like being boys. And it was really fun to like, it almost made me feel like a kid.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I can't think of a time where I have seen a person with a disability be the leading hero of the film. There obviously have been many films where actors have played roles of a person with disabilities, but they didn't have a disability themselves. So I feel like representation has been a massive issue. And when I was watching this, I really felt like we're definitely missing out when we're not including everybody.
I agree.
It just made me really feel good. And I really want to see more of everybody and more of all kinds of people from all walks of life, of all, I want to see everybody. And this was like a really good example of that.
Yeah, because if you think about it, we're supposed to be portraying the human experience, right?
Yeah.
So we need everyone involved that makes up the human experience.
Yeah.
Like it's not, yeah, I totally agree with you. It was very inclusive, and I think it added a whole nother layer of depth to the story, for me at least, knowing that information. So yeah, it was very cool.
Have you watched a lot of Shia's work prior to this film?
You know what? I haven't really. Like I've seen Even Stevens.
Oh yeah, well I grew up on Even Stevens. That's a staple. That is a staple.
But I've seen him in, oh my gosh, I'll never forget his performance in it, but the name of
Fury?
No.
Holes?
Well, yes, I've seen that too, but no, I'm thinking of something else. What is it?
He just did American Honey. He did Man Down. He did...
It's older. Is something with an eagle in it, maybe?
Oh, Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye, yes.
Well, obviously, he did like the Indiana Jones films, and he did the Transformers films.
The Transformers films, yes, I've seen him in.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, it's just been a minute.
His body of work is incredibly impressive.
It's very impressive, but it's funny because like you said that to me, and I was like, I don't remember the last time I've watched a Shia film. I
was talking to someone about it today, and they were like, have you seen Honey Boy yet? And which is another one. Like, I feel like he's constantly pumping out movies, and I'm a big fan. I think he's a phenomenally brilliant actor, but I haven't seen Honey Boy yet or American Honey. He has a film coming out called Pieces of a Woman, I believe it's called, with Vanessa Kirby, and I love me some Vanessa Kirby, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I need to. This actually like brought me back like into his work, because I feel like I haven't watched him in anything in a minute, and so yeah, that was refreshing as well. I'm like, oh, I need to like follow up.
Well, me too. I probably wouldn't have watched. This is why I like doing the movie night episodes, because I feel. I mean, I've always been this way. When I'm under a lot of stress, or being like worked a lot, I just like watch reruns. I really fall back on, I'll throw on The West Wing or Newsroom or Friends or Parks and Rec, and I'll just watch it to death, or The Office. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's there's something so comforting, and do what makes your soul feel good. And that certainly makes my soul feel good. But like, and it shouldn't feel like this, because watching a new movie like this is such a pleasure, but sometimes it feels like I'm doing work.
No, I agree with you, but I wonder, and I just had a thought, because I feel the same way. Like, I go to my go-tos all the time. I just had a thought. I wonder if, because we are in this field of acting, like, I don't know about you, but when I watch a film, I am like tracking so many different things than just the average person. And so I don't know if it's because I get so hyper focused on the acting and like all of the extra stuff that like
I'm constantly, I 100% agree with you. I always have IMDb open when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, like
every time an actor comes on, I'm like, oh, where do I know them from? What are they working on next? Like,
yes, it's like a project, and I'm like, oh, that beat, or that, like what he did right there. Like, I'm always like tracking everything, and I'm like, oh, the shot, like that shot was amazing. And like Shane's sitting next to me, he's like, this is funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're really taking it as an entertainment, and I'm taking it in as like, this is research.
100%. I think that you nailed it, because when you're watching something new, you're really hyper focused. And when you're watching reruns, you're kind of on autopilot. And so you can sort of like let your brain relax and think of other things. But it's a lot of brain power, at least for me, like when I'm watching something new.
And I can't stop myself from doing it. And I think there was a time like that I did just enjoy movies. Like, I just watched it and was like happy to like take it, like have it take me on a journey. But like now, like just, you know, doing what I do and working on it daily, like I can't help it.
Yeah.
It feels like I didn't do my job and maybe that's bad. I don't know. Maybe I should stop trying to like train my brain just to enjoy films, because I do enjoy them. It doesn't mean that
it's not enjoyable.
Yeah,
because it is.
It is
more effort though.
Yeah, like my brain just won't shut off.
Right.
I think that's what it is. And so I totally agree with you. Like, it does feel in a way exhausting, because it feels like I'm doing research. So I need to watch more films, but also not be crazy about it.
Yeah, one of the things that I've been trying to do is to finish the AFI Top 100 Films list. And I'm a good chunk of the way through it. But those films in particular, like all good films, are very thought-provoking, and you got to pay attention. It's not something that I can zone out on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
And sometimes that's all I want to do. And if that's just like watching, I don't know, Pride and Prejudice for the millionth time. I just watched have you ever seen the BBC series?
No.
The Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley is excellent. Directed by Joe Wright. It's fucking phenomenal. But for the first time a couple weeks ago, I have a couple friends that are listening. If they find out that like this is my first time watching this, they're going to be like, what? Colin Firth stars in it. And he plays Darcy, and he's incredible. But it's a 6-part series. And it's like really in depth, like really follows the book. And I binged it in one night. I stayed up till like 3 a.m. watching this. And it was something new, but because I know the story of Pride and Prejudice so well, I was able to enjoy it because I knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah.
I'm weird.
No, I kind of get that. I have watched Midnight in Paris.
Yeah.
So many times. I don't know why or what's wrong with me. I just really enjoy that film.
What do you like about it?
Well, the history, obviously, like the flashback and going to a different time period, and how, I don't know, I feel like the main character really finds himself in that film, right, and obviously changes the whole course of his life.
I think I've only seen it once.
You should watch it
My girl
again.
Rachel McAdams is in that one.
Yes, she's in it. And also the music's just so lovely. It just takes you to a different time. He gets to talk to like Hemingway and
I do remember that. I do
yeah,
remember
other
that.
people I'm losing my brain right now. But yeah, I don't
So
know.
you can put that on and kind of zone out.
Yeah, because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
And it's so beautifully shot. Like you just watch it and you're just like
Yeah.
smiling.
Totally. I get that.
I don't know.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add about Peanut Butter Falcon before we move on?
Shia looks great.
I mean, yeah, always.
Always looking
Yeah.
good, kid.
Yeah. No, he's very
Also,
handsome.
his
Oh, can we talk about how Jon Bernthal played his brother?
yes,
I love me some Jon Bernthal.
yes. Also, okay.
They were together in Fury. I was happy to see them together again.
I just thought. Oh, I moved the mic. I just thought of the part where he's swimming across the. Is it a river?
I believe so.
And Zach's tied to him on the rope, and they're like, I just think that is so. Well, I'll explain it first before I go into what I'm going to say, but. He's trying to swim him across because Zach can't swim. So he's like hanging on to the rope and there's like is it the backpack or like something that floats?
Yeah, he tied like a bunch of bags together to make them float.
That's what it was.
And he tows them. He ties this rope around his own body and he swims and he drags Zach along. Yes.
And this boat starts to come. And so Tyler, Shia's character, has to like really swim fast. He's like, hold on. He's trying to get him, across this river. And it really shows like, the strength of Tyler's character and how fast he can swim. And then he like zonks out like on the side of the riverbank because he's exhausted. And like Zach's just chilling, makes it by like the skin of his nose, and then like yanks Tyler up off the riverbank, like, and I think his character even says later, he's like, you're strong, like you nearly pulled my arm out of the socket. And I just love that moment because it's like they're both strong in different ways, and it really showed that.
Absolutely.
And how they work well together. I don't know, I think it just strengthened their relationship, and it's a very powerful moment for Zach.
I agree with you.
That's one of my favorite parts.
One of my favorite parts I also found very powerful was when they were spending the night on the beach and Zach says that he wants, like he was practicing his evil laugh.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was so good. And he was telling Tyler that he wanted to be a bad guy. And he's like, why do you want to be a bad guy? He's like, well, because everyone left me. And he said, you don't have to be a bad guy because everyone left you. That it doesn't mean that you're a bad guy. All that matters is what's in your heart. And I thought that was very moving. And then obviously like Tyler's character is someone that carries an immense amount of guilt with him. Yeah. And so when Zach tells him that he thinks he's a good guy, I thought that was an amazing moment. Really, really beautiful.
It's also too like, I don't know if I'm going too far with this, but it's like, I think, and everyone has different stories, right, in their life. And like, you could be a hero in someone's story and you could be the villain in someone else's.
Yeah.
And I think that, I don't know, that I could see that theme in that film as well. Like, just because he, that happened to him doesn't mean that he's, Shane always said this to me. He's like, amazing people can do bad things.
Absolutely.
Really great people. We're all capable of doing bad things. Not everything's black and white, And so,
I believe everyone is capable of doing anything under the right circumstances.
Absolutely. And so just because like Tyler felt guilty for what happened with his brother doesn't make him, and what happened with his brother for what happened, doesn't mean that he's a bad person.
Right.
And I think that like he needed, to experience this relationship with Zach and like have him say that to him, like, you are a good person. He needed that because I think he was going through life believing he was a bad person, and because he believed he was a bad person, he was doing bad things, like stealing the bait and the fishing supplies and all of that stuff. So I just think that's interesting.
Totally.
That moment that you brought up, because I didn't think about that before.
And it also just makes me think about how sometimes we just don't see ourselves that clearly. And I was having this conversation with a friend of mine today, actually. We were talking about how you could think that some things that you do is not a big deal at all, that you actually look at something that you do as like not a great job or not even a big deal, like easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
But that thing that you did would be very difficult for someone else to do, would be, and people admire you for that little thing.
Yeah, you never know like how you're seen in other people's eyes, really. And it's interesting. It's fascinating. It brings up a whole nother layer to that film, which I think is interesting to dive into. But
because we could get sucked into one idea that we have of ourselves and completely ignore the majority of what makes you you.
Totally. Oh yeah, like I've done that. I because I'm so obsessive compulsive about things, like I will obsess over one terrible thing I do and legitimately forget everything else.
Yeah, I'll dwell on something for a long time. I think we were talking about this recently, like having guilt about something that you did years ago.
Yeah.
And then, or really analyzing a moment that you had with someone and they looked at it completely differently than you did. It's just a matter of perspective. And it's hard to do because obviously in the case of Tyler, like I believe it was drunk driving, right? And he fell asleep at the wheel and his brother was killed. So that is like a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to happen, to have happen. And obviously that's the thing that you're going to zoom in on. And it feels like that's the one defining thing in his life. But he has so much kindness and so much humor, and he has all these other things. So like even the most defining, most traumatic, most terrible things in our life are not what make us who we are. It's a part of it.
Yeah. It's only part of your story. It's only one chapter.
Yeah.
Everyone has a chapter they don't want to talk about.
Totally.
No one's perfect.
No one's okay.
No one's okay.
That was an inappropriate way to say that. We're like talking about the diva shit and I had to say that.
All good.
Alexa.
Yes.
Are you okay?
You know what, Pam?
What?
I am better than okay. Yes. I am groovy.
Oh, I love me some groovy.
I'm groovy because thanks to you, I now know the Whop dance.
Oh my God. Are we doing this? We're doing okay, it's done, I guess suppose. Okay, guys, I didn't know it. I was with Alexa hanging out at safe distance, wearing masks.
Yes.
Okay, everyone relax.
Yes. Everyone relax. No one's saying anything.
Everyone, like, it has to be. We have to clarify.
I have to clarify.
I've had that Cardi B Megan Thee Stallion song like stuck in my head like for the last like however long it's been since it's come out. And then I saw, of course, the Morning Toast Girls did a Patreon where they did this dance. And everyone on TikTok has been doing it.
I had not heard this song until yesterday.
Not that I'm on TikTok. I'm really not cool. But I have cool friends that show me what's happening in the world.
Yes.
She never saw the music video.
That was a brand new world I was introduced to.
It's beautifully shot. Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was a lot of information and it was very fun. But yeah, we dabbled in trying to learn the choreo and it was quite fun.
It was quite fun. Do you know what it felt like to me? It felt like the days when I was like in 5th or 6th grade Not that we were doing those moves in 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, Pam, I didn't know what you were doing.
No, not that we were doing those particular moves. However,
yeah,
back in the day, like, that's what I would do with my friends, is we would choreograph dances to, like, NSYNC songs.
Oh, yeah.
We would, like, be in our rooms, like, doing, like, concerts. And that's what it felt like.
So fun, honestly.
The Whop dance with you.
Chicken wings, wine, and the Whop dance. That's all you need. The 3 things.
Sometimes that's what you need.
That's what you need. And so therefore I am groovy.
Let me ask you, did you practice when you got home?
I may have done it twice since I got...
Did you film it?
No.
Come on.
I am not filming that.
You should put it on our Instagram.
I don't know.
Oh. You picked it up very well.
Thanks. You got it down too. The only part that, like, I can't do is, like, the leg or whip around into, like, the split. That is
Yeah, you can do that.
I mean, slightly, but...
Oh, come on. You're being very, very modest.
It's pretty tricky and also a little painful.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to injure myself.
So fun.
Pam?
Yes.
Are you okay?
No. I'm doing better than okay. I'm very happy. I've got a lot of work done today, which is great.
Yes.
But I'm very tired, and I haven't been sleeping well at all. We're back to, like, falling asleep at 4 a.m. kind of situation.
No.
The insomnia is back at it. But I'm happy we watched this film. And I'm also happy because I learned that Alexa would be a great person to bring on a heist, because apparently she knows how to pick locks.
Really easy ones. Like, not, like, legit.
She had to unlock something and didn't have the key, and she's like, let me just whip out a bobby pin. Excuse me?
It's a little, yeah. So it's a skill that I have.
I don't know how to do that.
You've never done that before?
I mean, I've tried, and I don't think I was ever successful. Is it that easy?
It depends on the lock. Like, if it's like the door to my room right now is locked, but I could probably... Actually, yes, I have picked it. What am I saying? One time I locked myself out of my room at 5 a.m. going to the bathroom. It's fine.
I'm sorry?
So, I'm like a weird human where, like, when I wake up to pee, like, I am so alert. And it's a huge habit of mine to, like, always lock my door. Like, it's almost like I don't even have to think about it. Like, I just do it. Like, I walk in my room and I close it and I lock it because I have anxiety. I don't know. And I got up at 5 a.m. to pee, and I somehow thought I locked it and closed it behind me. And I was like, what did I just do? And so I peed, and then I got a bobby pin, and I picked it, and it opened, and I went to bed.
Wow. Very good. I've definitely locked myself out of my room at a previous place before, and I had to call a locksmith because that was an intense lock. I tried picking it. It didn't work out.
Like outside your apartment?
All the windows were closed. Like, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's not... No, like, there's no way I'm picking the lock to my apartment door. Like, and if I could, then we have bigger issues. And also, like, I should probably...
Well, you had that problem. Why do you lock yourself out of your place so much?
I've only locked myself out of my place 2 times, and once the deadbolt... Guys, I didn't forget my key. Once I locked my keys in my car because I lost my car keys on a hike, and Pam had to come find me. And then the second time, my deadbolt straight up broke.
It happens.
So... I did not forget my key. Well, one time I did forget my key when I was living with my roommate Nick, but that was dumb. I just was being dumb.
And then the room one.
But that's just my room. I am not okay.
Now I know who I'm going to bring with me on a heist.
Me. I'm ready.
Plan a good heist.
I'm ready for you. I got it.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Is that all?
I think that's all she wrote.
She's done writing.
She's done writing.
Her hand's tired.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
Stupid. All All right.
All right. Thanks so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If for some reason you want to see more of us, you can follow us on Instagram at No One's Okay.
And a special thanks to Jordan Ross Weinhold, Sean Moore, Jason Crow, Claire Palmer, Jackson Palmer, Tiffany Haymoff, Shane Rings, James Liddell, and our podcast is recorded at Soundworks Studios. We can't wait to meet you!